Please turn on your video and get ready to welcome your host.
Recording ones up, and then once we start, I'll just paste it. What do you type into the intro video? We are now
In 2015, he sold his first software company, then wrote a book about it. You purchased over 30,000 copies, making it an instant Wall Street Journal bestseller. Then he collected data points from 3,000 B2B SaaS CEOs through his podcast. He went on to raise a $145 million fund to do debt deals with software founders that wanted to keep equity. He's financed 403 software founders totaling $150 million. In 2024, he's averaging 3 to 4 new deals per week. He's a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, an exited SaaS founder, and the CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FounderPath. Please put your webinar hands together and welcome to the studio, Nathan Latka.
Hey guys, Nathan Latka here. If we haven't met yet, I'm the CEO of FounderPath, and you're about to learn over the next 35 minutes 9 ways to get 10,000 clicks and over $2 million of sales using ChatGPT. And this is not theory. Here it is on my screen. We're going to go over 9 case studies. These founders added over 2 million of new sales just last month. That's this month, April 2025. You're going to learn it all, and we've got a great packed audience. Here we are in my living room. We'll go wide shot here. We've got everyone on Zoom. Hey guys. Hey Katie. Hey Joseph. Good to see you. We've got a huge crew, hundreds of CEOs live. And if you're joining on YouTube, we've got a wide-ranging audience joining. If you're joining on YouTube, tell me in the comments which of these 9 things you want to learn in the next 30 minutes that you're most excited about, right? Tell me what you're thinking about if you're joining on YouTube.
On the back shot. Okay.
No, I switched. Tell me on YouTube what you guys want to learn, right? Tell me in the comments what you want to learn, and then click like on the YouTube video, and I'm going to pick one of you guys to win beautiful DJI Mini 3 over the next 60 minutes. To enter, all you have to do is like the YouTube recording and leave a comment on which of these 9 tactics you see on my screen that you want to learn. Same thing with the crew on Facebook. I know it's a land of moms and grandmas, but there's still some business folks over there, right? If you're watching in on Facebook Live, all you gotta do is click like on this Facebook replay and also leave a comment on the Facebook video for your chance to win. Again, a DJI Mini 3. We are giving out prizes today. Retail value $999. It's great if you want to take videos when you're speaking on stages. The drone can follow you tied to your phone from overhead. It's a really great tool. So that's Facebook. Zoom, hang tight. I'm going to get to you in a second. But first, I want to say hi to everybody joining on LinkedIn. We've got a great crew on LinkedIn. And if I go back to my back shot here, you can see we've got a great group joining all around the world. Sadar, Doug, etc. If you're joining on LinkedIn, I want you to look at these 9 tactics on my screen and leave a quick comment on LinkedIn on which of these you want to learn over the next 30 minutes. And I'm going to pick one of you guys that like and comment before 6 p.m. Eastern today. And I'm going to ship you your own as a prize, DJI Mini 3. Beautiful. Me? Can you hear me now? Could they hear me the whole time? Yeah. Okay, well, we're good now. Last group, the Rebels on X, and then we'll go to the Zoom crew. The Rebels on X, if you're joining on X, all you gotta do is retweet this X video or re-X this X video, click like below, and let me know which of these 9 tactics you see on my screen you wanna learn over the next 60 minutes. I'm gonna pick one of you guys before 6 p.m. Eastern today, Tuesday, April 29th, to win this DJI Mini Pro, and I'll share proof of who the winner is on my feed before the day is over. So, we're gonna have a great show today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Where's my Zoom crew? Where's my Zoom crew? Where's my Zoom crew? I see, let's see, we're gonna get the live Zoom crew up. I see Caleb Sanders, Dror, Guys, let's test the chat here on Zoom. I've got, again, a beautiful setup here in studio. Here's what it looks like. So I can see your comments over here, right? I can see your comments over here and over here, right? They're all over the place. I see them everywhere. Gary's in the house. Sanjay's in the house. Ben from Salt Lake City. Doug's here. Mahara's here. That's awesome. Mahara says, looking forward to the talk. Nick, what's up? Yo, back at ya. Yo, back at ya. All right, guys, I'm so pumped to teach this with you guys today because everyone's still trying to figure out AI. Everyone is still trying to figure it out. So we're going to focus on, again, on 9 ways to get 10,000 clicks, 2 million in sales in the age of AI with these 9 case studies you see on my screen. Now, if you guys have been on my webinars before, you know I don't want to feel lonely here in my living room, right? Here in my living room with our team, right? I like to see your faces up on these screens, right? I like to see your faces up here. So what we're going to do is please go ahead. Please go ahead. I've asked my team to start removing folks after this timer ends on my screen who are not sharing their video, right? So turn your video on. I want to be able to see you and engage. Alexander Evans, good to see you. Oh, Alex, the Eagles. I'm a Commanders fan. You guys watched the draft? Commanders crushed you. We got a new stadium coming. We want the RFK site back. I'm a Commanders fan. All right. All right, so guys, go ahead and turn your video on. Again, it's going to be a very interactive webinar, and we're going to focus on this. We're going to focus on this. 9 ways to get 10,000 clicks, 2 million sales using ChatGPT. Sam Berlin said, let's go, Commanders. There we go. Now, guys, help me out a little bit. Again, some of you guys are new faces. Hey, Lydia, good to see you, familiar face. How many of you guys are brand new? Type new in the Zoom chat or on LinkedIn or YouTube, etc. Who's new? Victoria's new. Nilish is new. Jessica's new. Katie's new, Brian's new. This is great. So here's my follow-up question, guys. How many of you guys are at least experimenting with AI and the LLMs to grow your software business? Type experiments in the chat. Who's at least experimenting a little bit? Or if you're like Lydia and you're big time experimenting, type big time. Who's experimenting? Lots of people experimenting. That's awesome. That's great. Well, again, we've got a lot of great tactics. Now, the big news this week, I'm going to spend a minute here on the news, then get into the tactics. Guys, Google's in a world of trouble. They've got a massive innovator's dilemma problem. Gemini is not growing as fast as ChatGPT, but have you guys used Gemini? In my opinion, it's better. I mean, Alex at B2B Wave, I saw you just shake your head. Like, I think it's better. Alex, do you have any comments there? Have you used Gemini? Unmute yourself.
Yes, I have.
To be fair, I used Gemini before the latest updates, so I reverted back to ChatGPT. But I've heard that it has grown to be much better now, and I tend to try to give it a try again.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know about you guys. I think Gemini is a better product than ChatGPT, but the problem is they're not getting growth. So now Google has this issue. Do they go and change this page, right? Do they change this page you're looking at right now on my screen? Do they just make this Gemini? Because then they get 100 million users instantly, but then they lose all their ad revenue, right? That's a $200 billion line of business. I mean, this is like Clayton Christensen, innovator's dilemma. If you guys were the CEO of Google, what would you do? Would you replace the Google home screen with Gemini to make sure ChatGPT doesn't win, but cannibalize all your other revenue? Or would you let it be as it is, but potentially lose to ChatGPT over time? What would you guys do? If you would change Google to AI on the home screen, type change Google on the chat. Of course, you guys are great founders. You all say test it. You all say test it. Of course, that's the right answer. Come on, pick a side. What do you guys think? Sam Berlin, can I pick on you? If you were the CEO of Google, unmute yourself. What do you do?
I think that you have to. I've seen so many horror stories of people not liking the hallucinations that are associated with search with Gemini. So I think that you still have to have a dedicated UI to have people that are accustomed to that interface go into it. I don't think you can disrupt search today by replacing it fully with Gemini. When you search.
Look, I don't know if you're right or wrong. I just know they have to figure this out. Otherwise, ChatGPT potentially hurts their whole business. I think this screen you're looking at right now probably becomes the home screen of Google in the next year. That would be my bet. I don't think Gemini can afford to lose the AI race to ChatGPT. I don't think Google can afford to lose that race. So look, we'll see what happens. But that's the one big piece of news. The other one is, are you guys following this deal rippling stuff? Especially my Twitter crew. Oh my gosh, this is better than a Netflix movie. Which side are you guys on? Do you think rippling is being just overly litigious? Or do you think deal was just being way too aggressive? They deserve to be sued here. Do we like rippling or deal? Jonathan says rippling. Jonathan, unmute yourself. Why are you on side rippling? Or Rajesh, you're on site deal. Rajesh, why deal?
I'm 100% rippling because as founders with I have a ton of IP, and if it was infringed, I would do the exact same thing that they're doing, especially to the degree that it looks like what I've been able to read about it.
It's insane. It's wild.
It's
it just
wrong.
goes to show you the kinds of games that once you're at this size that people are willing to go to and play to try and win, right? I mean, it's wild to watch. So that's This Week in SaaS, right? That's This Week in SaaS. So it's good to connect with you guys. Again, really great to see all of you guys here. So again, now what we're gonna do, let's jump into the content today. And I do wanna customize this a bit for all of you. The best way for me to do this is if you guys are open to being a little transparent with each other. We're all here in my living room. Again, here's the wide shot, right? You can see the wide shot here. I see all your faces over here. I see all the things here in my living room. If you're open to being a little bit transparent and sharing in the Zoom chat, right? Here you guys are. Right, this is great. Are you guys proud of me for keeping these plants alive? My mom is going, Nathan, when are you gonna have a grandkid? I'm like, Mom, if I gotta just keep this frickin' plant alive right here, and if I can keep this frickin' plant alive, I'll then graduate to a dog, right? I'm talking about that plant, right? I'll go to a dog, and then kids. I got to do the whole spouse thing first, right? Baby steps, right? But I'm doing good. This is the plants in the living room. But I guess my point being here, guys, is if you're open to being a little transparent, right? You're in my living room. It's like a backyard barbecue. I can customize some of the content. So if you're open to it, go ahead and put in the chat right now. Just let me know what stage you're at. And you could say, you know, hey, Nathan, I launched 3 years ago. We're pre-revenue. You could say we're 5 million of revenue bootstrapped. You could say we're 30 people, right, playing in the CRM space. But this is your chance to tell me a little bit about yourself in the chat real quick. All right, where are you guys at? I see someone just said, hey, we're an agency joining, thinking about launching SaaS. That's awesome. Tom, you're 750K bootstrap. That's awesome. Tom, are you there? Unmute yourself. Where's Tom? 750K bootstrapped.
No, I'm here.
Where are you, man? What's the website? What are you building?
Oh, Boston. It's planify.net, planify.net. We make staffing and planning solutions for design firms, specifically architects and engineers.
Software, though, right? You're building SaaS?
Yeah, yep, software, SaaS software enterprise.
And you bootstrapped at 750K?
Yes. Although yeah.
That's awesome, man. Guys, round of applause for Tom. That's incredible, right? That's an amazing story. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Cliffy says 450K ARR bootstrapped. Ratchet's being super honest, which I appreciate. Ratchet said stuck between 1.5 and 2 million for a year. Guys, I love the vulnerability. Who else feels a little bit stuck? Raise your hand. Anybody else feel a little bit stuck? Raise your hand. It's cool. I mean, we all get stuck at some point, right? Raise your hand. A couple people, Josh Lynch. Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Mark says 2 million trying to double. That's great. Well, guys, again, I hope you learned something here over the next 40 minutes. We're going to jump into these tactics. So let's rock and roll. Let's jump into the slide deck here. How do we get 10,000 clicks from ChatGPT? How do we turn on that stream, that faucet, that fire hose of leads on these new platforms? Well, we're going to start off here in section 1, focusing on Tally. I want you guys to look at this graph here. We'll go widescreen here in studio, just on the slide to make it really big if possible. All right, take a look here at that slide. All right. And so again, guys, like in studio, we'll have to figure out like with the captions. Oh, there, you turn it off. Oh no, they're still there. So like, just a note for in studio, we have to figure out a way to edit that in the future. But you guys can see here, this is Tally's.so's user registration. They are a form building tool. They compete with Jotform, Typeform, etc. And this red bar is the number of new registrations they're getting from ChatGPT weekly. So, I mean, Marina Gabor, this is pretty impressive, right? I mean, this is 1,000 signups last week only from ChatGPT. I mean, this is insane. Raise your guys, or actually put in the chat, guys, how many of you guys are getting traffic or leads now from ChatGPT? Even if it's a trickle, even if it's just like a trickle, put it in the chat, just say ChatGPT. Even if it's just like a trickle. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, a bunch of people. Okay, this is great. Yeah, so guys, this is happening, right? And so the whole goal here is if you can optimize for this new real estate before anybody else, you'll win. So how is Tally doing it, right? Let's take a look. I want you guys to look at their Ahrefs account here. Do you notice anything interesting or unique about this data I'm hovering over? Do you notice anything unique about this data? It is remarkable to have a domain rating, that purple line, go from 0 to 75 plus in under 2 years. I mean, those of you, raise your hand if you know what a domain rating is. Raise your hand. Anybody? Okay. Danny Maloney, unmute yourself. You raised your hand. Can you explain what a domain rating is?
Yeah, it's an aggregate metric to give a sense of how strongly your domain is viewed by search engines.
We lost your audio there at the end, but you were on the money. You were trending the right direction, right? Guys, I'm going to show you here on my screen Tally SO and Ahrefs. Guys, your domain rating is the fundamental building block of, are the search engines going to show you? And it's also critical to have a high domain rating if you want to show up in ChatGPT. Now you guys can see here with Tally, their domain rating is a 90. Guys, if you have above a 50 domain rating and you're under 3 years old, you're doing a good job. Who's there? Raise your hand. Who's there? If you're under 3 years old and above 50 domain rating, you're pretty darn good. You're doing a great job, right? So the question is, how did Tally get a high domain rating, which is fueling a lot of their growth? Well, let's go look at their site structure for a second. You guys with me? Here's the site structure. And what we're looking at here, guys, is this column. We're trying to reverse engineer, right? You can do this with your competitors, right? How did they get, or what is driving the most of their referring domains? So obviously their homepage 32504. Let's look deeper here. Let's look deeper here. All right, so 2000 from the homepage. There's something else though. Whoa, what is this? Holy crap. What is this? You guys know what this is? What's your guess? You know what this is? When I see this, I go, this is the silver bullet. Whatever they're doing here, this is what we have to reverse engineer. What are they doing? Remember, Tally is a form building tool. What this is, guys, is everyone building a form on Tally, right? And then sharing it back out. So let's go in and look at some of these, right? Let's just go look at a random one. Now, full disclosure, this is live. I have no idea what's about to pop up, but here it is. A company, and it looks like a university course company used Tally to set up their form, and now they embed it on their site, and it's a new backlink. So they've gamified backlinks because their product, their PLG motion enables it. Now, all of you guys don't have that advantage. I get it. But what I'm trying to show you here is how you can align a product strategy with domain authority to then show up in these LLMs. So the question that you should ask yourself is, how can you convince your users, right, to launch something on your domain that they then share? That's effectively why. I mean, that is the tactic. Right? If there was a silver bullet, that is the way that Tally went from a 0 domain rating here in September 2020 up to 4 years later, 89, which is an insane domain rating, 18.8 million backlinks. And because they have this kind of Ahrefs and this kind of SEO structure, it's a key reason they're showing up so well in the language learning models like Gemini and ChatGPT. All right. Now, guys, I love you guys buying stuff from each other. So if you consider yourself an SEO expert, especially on domain rating, type SEO expert in the chat. That way, if people want to learn from you, they can reach out directly, right? Just type SEO expert in the chat. This is your time to promote briefly, right? Briefly, right? Briefly promote. SEO expert, put in the chat. So guys, there you have some resources, right? But the key to getting original traffic from ChatGPT and the LMs is that. And guys, here's what I've done. Watch my screen here really quick. I've created this little quick link here for the LLMs. I'm gonna pop it open, and it opens all the LLMs really quickly. This is just the Chrome group feature that I use for this. And the reason I do this is, let's then like test Tally for a second. Actually, let's test with one of you guys. Guys, what industry are you in? Type in the chat. Like if you're in a form building industry, type form building in the chat. Or if you're software for construction companies, type that in the chat. Or whatever, type your, yeah, there we go. Jeff said CMS, voice AI, Sanjay's MarTech. Okay, and I'm seeing you guys commenting on LinkedIn and X and YouTube as well. I'm seeing financial markets, auto reimbursement, software for physical asset management. Jonathan, that's great. Software, okay, top software for physical asset management. I'm gonna copy this exact same prompt. You guys should do this. You should do this with your own company. I'm gonna do it in Perplexity. I'm gonna do it in Claude. I'm gonna do it in ChatGPT. I'm gonna do it in Gemini. Right, I'm gonna do it in Grok. I'm gonna do it in, well, if Meta, okay, they have too many issues. I'm gonna skip Meta. I'm gonna do it in Mistral, big in France. I'm gonna do it in Copilot. Those are the big ones. Let's go back now and look. And what you're looking for is who got recommended. And Jonathan, if you didn't get recommended, what you guys wanna immediately follow up with. Jonathan, what's your tool name? Type it in the chat. Help me out, Jonathan. What's your tool name? What's the tool name? What you're gonna say is, why didn't you mention estate space, right? And you'll start to get hints of why you didn't show up in the LM. That is the best way to get a strategy together on how to start showing up, right? So we're not gonna wait for the reply here, but that's what you wanna do. Same thing, let's go to Claude. You just do the same thing, right? Why didn't you mention estate space? Thumbs up, guys. Again, remember, I can see all of you here. Thumbs up, are you with me? Does this tactic make sense? Is this helpful? Okay, awesome. I love it. We're learning something already, and we're only 19 minutes in, right? So again, I can't go through all of that, but you understand now how to see how you're showing up in the LLMs. This is, I think, the future of any SaaS company growing. It's the most valuable digital real estate online, those LLMs. So again, this is the question you want to ask yourself, right? Thanks. This is the question you want to ask yourself, right? Sorry, that's not the question you want to ask yourself. The question you want to ask yourself is, again, what do you need to optimize to get in the LLMs? How to get your domain rating up, right? All right, that's section 1. Let's go into section 2. I need your guys' help here. You can say anything related to your SaaS company, but I want you to put in the chat right now, what is your biggest worry? Is it recruiting a new sales executive? Is it growing from 3 million of revenue to 4 million of revenue? Is it managing your board meeting next week? Is it raising capital quickly? Give me a good answer. I'm going to pause for 60 seconds. Give me a 1 or 2 sentence answer in the Zoom chat, okay? While I do that, I'm going to pick on someone that I haven't seen in a while. Marina Gabor, can I pick on you?
Okay.
It's good to see you again. How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Tell everyone what you're working on, because I've seen you on a couple times and I always appreciate your energy. What are you building?
I am actually a copywriter for SaaS. I did have a SaaS a couple of years ago and we ended up shutting down because we didn't get product market fit. Worked a long time on it. It was Summit Writing Academy. It was like a writing program for kids that was SaaS.
Mm-hmm.
And
very cool.
Yeah. So
very cool. Well, this is great. Again, Marina, I love seeing you here. I appreciate the transparency. What's on your mind right now, just in terms of growing the business?
yes, I always love hearing what you have to say. I love the founder energy, the founder vibe, love connecting with founders, always have ideas. And you have smart things to say. I always learn things.
On a good day, Marina, stop saying nice things. You're building me up. I'm supposed to under-promise and then over-deliver. I'm going to tell you guys, this webinar is going to be shit. You should leave right now. I have nothing valuable to say. Now, if I just get through the webinar, you're going to be impressed, right? Frank Sondors, you're going to go, oh my God, Nathan made it. This is great. But Marina, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. All right, guys, I see in the chat, you guys are saying, Rick Rubin's saying email reporting and auditing my SaaS. Alexander saying selling our solution overseas, selling new subscriptions, pre-selling, etc. Okay, I'm gonna come back to your worries in a second because I'm gonna loop that into a tactic here in about 60 seconds. The next section that I wanna jump into though is what I call content triplets. Now you guys know me. Raise your hand if you've listened to at least one podcast episode that I've done. Raise your hand. Sam, what do you guys know about me? Jessica, what do you know about me? I'm a data guy, right? I'm always gonna show you the proof first. So the next tactic, I'm showing you the proof first. This is my site. This is the podcast, actually, getlatka.com. This is the free traffic we've gotten from Google based off my SEO strategy over the past 16 months. Now, can you guys see the number of total clicks up there on the upper left I got for free? Can you put it in the chat? Can you read it? How many clicks is that? How many clicks is that? Danny Brown, good to see you on LinkedIn, retired business professor. Arvinad, good to see you, building an iPass. I love that. Appreciate all you guys on LinkedIn tuning in. All right, yep, you guys got it. 1.8 million or 1.08 million clicks. Now, guys, think about it. If you've ever run Google Ads, and let's say you pay $5 per click or $10 per click, this is effectively a $10 million strategy. Do we agree? It's basically a $10 million strategy. Jessica's like, yeah, I mean, give me 10 million bucks, right? So the question is, what am I doing here? I want to show you guys the actual, instead of the screenshot of this, is it cool if I log into my actual back end? Just shake your head, I don't know. That's better, right? It's better. I think it's better. Let me show you the actual live data here. All right. So we're going to go to the last 16 months. Okay. And do you guys notice, obviously you see the 1.8 million clicks here, but do you guys see this purple line jumping? Why is that happening? Let me make it more clear. Why is that happening? What's happening? Any guesses? Any guesses? Barris in the comments said new comments added. LinkedIn, you're supposed to get this answer right. That's the smart crew. If Twitter beats you to the answer, we're going to have problems. We're going to have problems. LinkedIn, what do you guys think? What's happening here? Okay, someone said, Dan Jacob said AI agent. Gary said AI overviews. Yep, you guys aren't far from the truth. I'm going to give you the honest answer, guys. I don't know. I don't know exactly, right? I have some guesses, but I don't know exactly. I'm going to tell you what my hunch is, though, here in a second. The key thing that I care about, though, is I also want to make sure if I'm getting more impressions that my average click-through rate when they show up doesn't decline, and it is. That's why I'm not getting more total clicks, right? I'm still getting only, I say only, but between 2,000 and 3,000 free clicks from Google per day, right? But the question is, how are we doing this? And I'm going to show you how I did it historically. This is my bill.com account, right? So this is all the invoices that I pay the one person that I had writing content for me at Latka. Can you guys see the dollar amount I was paying here for the contractor? Yeah, Michael, you see it, right? I see you shaking your head. Can you guys see the due dates here on these? So it's about every 15 days I'm paying $1,200. All right, so it's about $2,400 a month is what I was spending on content. And you guys are probably giggling at the headline on this page, right? Because you know where I'm gonna go with this. I used to pay a human. Here's what I do now. Write this down. I call it content triplets. Content triplets. And you used to not be able to do this cheaply because you had to have humans involved. I want to show you guys how I'm doing this sort of live now. And I'm going to start with the search volume. So you all have your own industries. I also have my own SaaS company at Latka, so I have my industry, which is I'm catering to software founders. One of the things that I want to optimize for is the combination of a software company's name like ClickUp plus the word revenue. You guys with me? You see my screen? Right? I want to show up one here. I want to show you guys how I'm doing that. You guys can see me showing up one here, right? Now the question is, how am I showing up one here? Well, let me click into this, right? And then show you what the reward is first, right? So I'm going to take that URL, go back into search here. I'm going to add a filter, and I only want you guys to see the traffic that page has gotten from the keyword term ClickUp revenue. And I'm going to give us a nice big sort of history here. Whoops, that's not good. It's not 0, I promise. Let's go back in here and see if I did something wrong. Cancel, exit, more, and I'm doing that right. Add a filter, page. Oh, it's because I'm not on the blog. Let's go to the blog, sorry. HTTPS. That's how you know this is live. Right, Sam? That's how you know it's live. It's not perfect. All right, let's type that in again. ClickUp revenue. All right, and so here you guys can see the clicks. So this isn't crazy, right? It's only this many clicks. But again, if you're paying $5 a click on ads, $5 times 566, that's $3,000 basically in free value. The question is, how am I writing this? And I'm gonna scroll down the article. What if I told you this wasn't written by a human? Michelle, unmute yourself. Combs, you're shaking your head. What's going through your head right now? She's like, unmute. Where's unmute?
I've been doing the same thing because of the last session we had. Mm-hmm. I got on ChatGPT finally, and I started writing articles with it. Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. I'm toasted. I'm not writing anything myself anymore. I just go through and I edit it. And I was so opposed to using AI to write articles. I was so opposed to it, and now I'm kind of in love with it.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Guys, I want to show you some magic though. I'm going to be dead silent. What I'm about to show you, when I first did this, can you guys see my skin? Can you zoom in studio on my skin? I actually have goosebumps right now. Like when this thing happened, can you see? I don't know what the shot is. Can you see? Oh, there it is. Come on, light. Come on, sun. Okay, my hair actually, when I did this the first time, my hair literally stood up. I'm going to be dead silent, and guys, just watch this and see if you can figure out what's going on here. Okay, just see if you can figure this out. Now remember, my biggest asset is the recording with the CEO. I've done 3,000 of them, right? So here's the recording.
Hey folks, my guest today is Zeb Evans.
Right, 22 minutes long. Watch this. Now we're gonna let this run a second. While that's running, I did this already with an interview I did with Manny Medina, right? So at Outreach, here's the prompt I use. The prompt's the most important thing. If you don't prompt it the right way, you won't get the response. So that's the prompt if you wanna copy it, right? That's the prompt. By the way, guys, I got this idea because someone in a very large hedge fund pays a lot of money for Latka, and they said, Nathan, I don't listen to your interviews anymore. I just do this. And I said, oh my God, that's genius, right? What they do is they stick the interview in here, and look what it spits out, guys. This is when I interviewed Manny Medina at Outreach when they were only at 10 million, 20 million of revenue. And look at what it spits out. Just read some of this. I mean, this is gold. It's gold. And right now, ChatGPT doesn't index transcripts of Google videos because Google is blocking ChatGPT from doing that. It's right? Because Google wants to win that race. So that's my opportunity. I can now suck all this data out and basically immediately build a LinkedIn post with all the things you guys care about. These are the hooks. You guys care about, my audience cares about numbers. That's why you engage. Michelle, are you with me or what? Michelle Combs, are you feeling this or what? Who had a little magic moment,
I am so excited
right?
about this. I hadn't even thought about this for LinkedIn. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so guys, you all can't do this same thing, but the question you have to ask yourself is, what is your asset? Mine is the podcast interview. You all have your own asset, right, that you can do this for, right? You can do this yourself. Matt Kresmas on LinkedIn is saying Claude projects are a beast. Claude is, Matt, you guys are saying Claude's better. I love Gemini for this. No one else does the YouTube transcripts. Right? So if you have a podcast and your asset's the recording, you want to use Gemini and you want to just do exactly what I just did. And what you do after you get those things out is you create the blog post automatically to start ranking #1. And then you also basically copy the key numbers up, whatever your hook is, in the LinkedIn post or your social feeds, and it'll get great engagement because it's unique content they can't get anywhere else. Right? So that is why Get Latka gets summed up, so many millions of free clicks from Google, right? Every single month. They call it the content triplet. And guys, here's the model that I would tell yourself. My podcast is the cow here on the right. Right? Many of you guys spend a lot of time creating content assets, but you're terrible at selling every part of the content or cutting it up. Right? You would be a bad farmer only selling the rib of the cow. What about the chuck? What about the flank? What about the tenderloin? What about the sirloin? What about the roundup, the neck? Let's maybe skip the neck. That's not that nice. That's nasty, actually. Skip the neck, everything else, okay? Right? So the question is, what's your cow? And are you using all the parts and how? All right? This is my first time teaching this. Thumbs up here in studio. Did this make sense? Did the model make sense maybe? Okay, I'm seeing some people going yes, some people lost a little bit. Let's just, okay, I see you guys in the chat, Bijay saying very cool, awesome. Guys, let's brainstorm. The biggest hiccup people have on this is they don't know what their original asset is. Mine's a podcast interview. Those of you cutting up content like this, what's your starting asset, your starting Lego block? Put it in the chat. Let's just get some ideas going together. Yeah, Alex just said it, trying to figure out my cow. Oh, Ian, great idea. Ian, keynote. Ian Beecraft, unmute yourself. How are you splitting and cutting up your keynotes?
The keynote's constructed to have certain spots where you're landing on key topics. So it kind of creates a natural flow for what you can cut up and turn into 60 and 90-second segments on social media. And then you just turn that into an article that goes through all of those for a secondary piece of content.
That's like chef's kiss, beautiful. Jonathan Duarte saying webinars, Jim saying magazine articles. Yeah, you guys look in the Zoom chat. Look in the chat right now at LinkedIn. You guys can see everyone brainstorming with each other. Right, a lot of different ways to do this. So that's the content triplet, video, thread to blog. Let's go back, to front-facing screen here. All right, let's now jump into section 3, which is the reverse headline. It's the reverse headline. We talked earlier with Marina about copywriting. How many of you guys feel like you've got great content, you know what you're doing, but you just feel like you're really crappy at writing good headlines? Raise your hand. You just feel like you're really crappy at writing good headlines. Pierre's like, okay, I get it. Some of us are just, we don't like selling, we're bad at headlines. Well, what if I told you there was a way where you never have to come up with a content idea again? You just have to strategically ask your audience and they will tell you what to write. Let me give you an example. Adam Robinson is obviously great on LinkedIn. You can see here on the screen. He tells these great stories. Well, where does he get the inspiration from? Let me show you what I mean by reverse headline. Now, I already did this on you guys. Remember I asked you earlier to type in the chat what your biggest worry is? True or false, if I built content around that worry, are you likely to attend that webinar in the future? Probably, right? I just got you guys to write hundreds of headlines for me, right? What you're actually worried about in the chat. So the question is now, what do I do with that? Here's what I do. I'm showing you on my screen. This is like gold. Once this live recording today, April 29th, is done, I'm going into Zoom. I'm clicking this button for the chat file, right here, where my mouse is. I'm putting this prompt into Gemini. Read the prompt. Boom. Right? Boom. You just did it. I just had to ask you the good question of what's your biggest worry, right? You guys just put my content plan together for the next 12 months. And what's going to happen is Gemini, look at all these great ideas they spit out. Now, this is on the last webinar, so these aren't your worries you just put in chat, right? I didn't do that live, but these are great headlines. They tell me what to write about in the future. So guys, what I'm trying to get you guys to do is don't get stuck in writer's block where you don't know what to write about. Just get really good at prompting your user base, your email list, your keynote listeners, your podcast listeners. Ask them what they're worried about. Take that data, feed it into the Gemini, the LLM, and boom, get great headline ideas for your next piece of content, right? So guys, in summary, we just talked about how to generate thousands and thousands of clicks with the new LLMs. We talked about how Tally is winning using semantic clusters. What that means is it's not just top form builder tool, but it's form builder tools for the construction industry, right? Semantic clusters. And don't bury the lead. Remember, ChatGPT, the LLMs, they don't necessarily scrape your whole article because they have limited bandwidth. So put the lead at the top of the article, right? Put the semantic cluster at the top. Number 2, showed you how to use Gemini to pull text data from video and the content triplet concept. I just showed you how to generate headlines from your audience using any kind of input from them, asking a great question, all right? Guys, on a scale of 0 to 10, again, I am gamifying all the engagement. If you are watching on LinkedIn or Twitter or Zoom or YouTube or wherever else we're streaming, again, put in the chat on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being you learned at least something in the first 35 minutes. I'm going to pick one of you guys that is engaging. Like and comment the post to win this full DJI. It's a beautiful DJI Mini 3. Super cool drone. It's my favorite drone. I use it when I'm giving keynotes to fly around and get great shots, or when I'm on traveling to get great shots. It will basically follow. I can program it to follow my phone in my pocket and basically follow me 5 feet above and 3 feet out. So I basically have that shot following me as I go on a run or move around. It's a super cool drone, DJI Mini 3. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you learned at least something? I see you guys, my friends on Zoom, all learning something, which is great. That's awesome. Let's jump into section 2. Section 2. Here's section 2. What are you guys most interested in learning out of these 3 tactics? Put it in the chat. AI pricing map, the pickaxe agent, or turning LinkedIn into your personal ATM for your SaaS company. What are you guys most interested in? Mahara said AI agent. Sanjay said ads. LinkedIn, a lot of ads. Way more LinkedIn than I thought, actually. This is wild. A lot of LinkedIn. Okay, the chat's moving very fast. Guys, I can't actually see the attendee count right now. Can somebody help me out? How many founders are with us today? Can someone put in the chat? How many founders are with us today? I can't see the count here, at least on Zoom. Where are we at? 2, that's amazing. I love that. Rick, I think, is watching on Zoom. There's over 600 watching there, 276 here on Zoom. That's amazing. And guys, out of curiosity, just type founder in the chat. How many of you guys are actual founders, or you own at least 20, 30% of a software company? I think most of you. Oh, I love that. I love that. It gets me fired up. Those of you just joining a little bit late, again, you're joining me live in my living room. We're talking about how to get clicks from ChatGPT, how to get more sales from the LLMs using real life case studies. We're about to jump into section 2. Again, I can see all of your comments here, the Zoom windows, all that jazz here in my living room. And this is my front angle, right, which we love. We're going to jump into these 3 tactics right now, how they added 2 million in sales over the past 45 days. Let's first talk about Manny Medina. Now, Manny was kind enough to come on my podcast back in 2017, right? Outreach was only at about 20 million bucks of revenue at the time, right? That was 7 years ago, right? Obviously, and he's come on many times since then. Obviously, Outreach scaled. The last confirmed revenue amount I got was the 150, 180, and then to the dotted is estimated, right? All this data is available on Latka.com, right? And so what Manny then pinged me the other day said, Nathan, I'm building a new company called Paid, right? Called Paid. And what he's doing is he's helping folks set up instant pricing pages for anything they're charging for related to AI. And the reason I want to show you this map, which Manny came up with and Kyle Polyer published in his newsletter, right? We'll actually link to this in the Zoom chat if there is a way to do that, or just Google Medina growth unhinged, and you'll see this article pop up, right, where Manny teaches this. But here's what I want you guys to do. You've got to be priced around one of these 4 things. The flat software subscription is just dead. It's just not going to work in the future because everyone else is pricing per workflow, per outcome, per agent, or per action. Workflow, outcome, agent, action. is anyone here already doing this and you've driven at least $1 million of sales charging for one of these 4 things? If so, type 4 things in the chat. You're doing it and you've sold at least $1 million already. Type 4 things in the chat. Anybody? This is fairly new, so it's okay if no one chats. That's cool too. All right, anybody? All right, well, Ian, I'll pick on you then. You said Vericoast. Ian Bcraft, unmute yourself. What are you pricing around?
So we're pricing based on workflow. We re-engineer process for service-based businesses, and that is based on first encoding the data that they have internally and then building workflows on top of that.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. And what is how much have you done in sales in terms of paying per workflow? Just the workflow revenue line item?
We're just over 700K.
Interesting. And how do you position that? Do you say it's a flat fee plus usage on top, or it's no SaaS fee, it's just pay per workflow?
So it's a flat fee for the data encoding, and then for the workflow, it's literally just a flat fee plus API key usage, which is all on their end. We don't take any of that. So once we build the workflow, we're done.
Interesting. Interesting. I love that. I love that. Makes a ton of sense. Okay, cool. Let's keep cruising here. John says about to change your pricing model. Julian says per workflow. Guys, we just changed our pricing model at Latka. I don't want to keep talking about Latka because it feels like self-promotion, but do you guys want to see the revenue graph on what happened after we made the change? Or would you be interested in seeing that? Maybe. Jessica's saying yes. I gotta feel it. This is good stuff, guys. It's like I'm saying you want to see my freaking tax return. Gotta make me feel good. I'll show it to you. All right, I'll show this to you guys. So what we did, guys. So remember, my main focus right now is Founder Path. Right, Founder Path is a debt fund. Right, I'm investing in software companies. We've deployed $200 million so far to over 500 software founders. Right, it's all debt, so they keep their equity, payback over 4 years. I spend very little time on Latka outside of recording my cow, recording my podcast. Right, I only do the recording. Everything else runs automatically. One of my frustrations is our pricing page would never work. So I ripped out the manual custom coded pricing and I replaced it with a tool called Schematic right here. Schematic is basically like handles all your pricing for you, and it enables you to set up usage-based pricing or outcome-based pricing like you see here. Right? Can you guys see that? Like 500 company Excel exports, right? And so the reason that this is powerful is now when you go in to Latka, if you're paying, right, and you go in and look at a couple companies, let's say you want to do Vox Pop Me, or let's say you want to go in here and filter, where revenue is between $1 million and 10, or you want to go into a specific industry, or maybe you are big in Salt Lake City and you want to go see only the companies in Salt Lake City. Again, with all my interviews attached to each of these, you could go filter those. And as you consume the usage, right, in your account section, Schematic is powering. Right up here, it's showing you how many exports. So here, 73 company page views, and it will then drive and say, hey, you're about to run out, you should upgrade. So that's all now running automatically. I spend very little time on it. I'm now gonna log into my Founder Path account for Latka, and I'll show you, because Founder Path, obviously, whoops. On Founder Path, you see the revenue graph. So we installed, let me show you the revenue graph, right? This is when I was only focusing on building Latka as a solo founder, right? We grew about $60,000 a month in revenue. It was a media business, basically, all from the podcast. Felt pretty darn good as a one-man shop, right over there. Felt pretty darn good. But then I closed the fund. And I said, I got to go do the fund full time. So I stopped focusing on this and it just slowly churned off, right? You can see churn here, quick ratio, right? The churn was more than the growth every month. So we slowly declined. But when we pivoted and all these hedge funds and analysts and founders that use it said, Nathan, we just want to pay per usage. I said, fine, I'll do it. We just launched it about 30 days ago, and you can see we're having our first positive month here in about 3 years, right? In about 3 years. So look, I know a lot of you guys are much bigger than this. You're doing way more revenue, but what I'm trying to tell you guys is more and more companies are going to be one-person shops with a media business and a software component that are just crushing it. And I'm testing that at Latka, and you sort of see it working here. So again, pricing per outcome. And then we set up automations around the outcome. When they get close to hitting one of those outcomes, we then tell them, hey, you got to go upgrade. Right, you got to go upgrade via the pricing page. So I try to always practice what I preach, right? What I share with you guys on here. So we're basically paying per action and per outcome, number of companies that you can study on Latka. All right? Okay, let's keep moving forward here. Let's talk about pickaxe agents. Do you guys notice any patterns here in the footer of Ahrefs? What takes up the most of the space? Takes up most of the space. It's good to see, again, Arvin with Clamp on LinkedIn. Kevin tuning in on LinkedIn as well. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. Twitter, you're doing your thing. Good to see you guys too. Okay, yeah, on Zoom, you guys are saying exactly. You guys nailed it. Keywords, keywords, keywords. And Dan Jacobs, thank you for retweeting on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. Appreciate the love over there. I see 158 of you guys are watching over there. But you guys nailed it. It's free tools. It's free tools, right? It's free tools. Now, the reason that this is powerful, right, is because, in my opinion, in a world where you can use Lovable or Ohara or any of these tools to launch a free tool, it's easier than writing a blog post 5 years ago. Free tools are the new blog post. If your marketing team is not launching free tools, you're losing leads, right? Free tools is the new blog post. Let me give you an example of this. So I'm building FounderPath. I want more leads. What is a free tool that I could maybe build for founders? Well, I went in this morning, and this is the prompt that I gave Lovable. Can you guys see the prompt? This is all I gave it as the input, right? So most people hire an investment banker to do this for them, right? You're paying 10 grand a month retainer, and then you're paying 3% of your exit fee for this, right? So I said, let me just see if I can quickly create a free tool. And what I'll do is I'll then put it in the footer of our website for lead gen, right? Come use the tool. We'll create a huge free tools section, right? We'll stick it right down there. Guys, look at what it did. And remember, guys, I'm not an engineer, right? So boom, it told me, whoops, what am I doing here? Where's my mouse going crazy? Okay, there we go. Let me go back to Lovable. But look what it did here. It didn't just give me the code. It told me sort of how it was doing the code. And the first output it spit out wasn't my color scheme, so I just gave it a screenshot out of my Canva and said, hey, use these color gradients. And it just automatically updated the free tool to match our colors for FounderPath. And now all I had to do was copy the code, send it to my engineering team, and we'll have a free tool in our footer by this evening, right? So now any of you can go in here, basically put in, and you have a free valuation calculator. So the sky is the limit here, guys, in terms of free tools you can generate, but it's easier than writing a blog post. I just did this in under 30 seconds, right? And then what you would do is you let people use it, and then you say, hey, opt in, right? Or enter your email or sign up if you want more data related to your exit. All right. Okay, how many of you guys are already using this? Type free tools in the chat. You're already using this, having success. Anybody? Anybody in the chat? Feel free. I'm going to give you a chance to promote. I usually don't do this, but go ahead and drop your free tool in the chat. You can drop a link. If you've got a great free tool that helps, especially if it helps SaaS founders, drop it in the chat. I know Ben Murray's building some cool stuff. He is the guy. When I talk about CFOs and SaaS, I say, go talk to Ben Murray. Ben, how's your course doing, man?
Oh, good. Thanks, Nathan. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Are you enjoying the move? You're in Arizona now full time, I think, right?
Yeah. Any Scottsdale founders out there, let me know, but in Scottsdale, Arizona now.
Look at that. And he's rocking his tan. He's doing his thing. Ben, when's your next CFO course start?
Next metrics course is in October. So yeah. And then you speak of free tools. Yeah, I've got my own apps, cash collections. I've got a metrics dashboard, MPS tools. So also doing the SaaS founder thing as well.
Drop one of those in the chat, Ben, just so they can check it out. But again, you guys can see this is the trend. So we call this, you need to make sure your marketing team, guys, is doing what's called prompt marketing. This is what that is, prompt marketing. Prompt marketing for the free tool. That's the future of lead gen. And ideally, you want to title these things. Watch how easy it is to edit this, by the way. Let's say I wanted to change this really quick. I can just click edit. Oh, it's going to now spin up a preview. Darn it. Well, I don't want to wait here because we're live on a webinar, but you just click edit. And if I want to change the title in Lovable, I can do that. You want to title your free tools what people are likely to search for in the LLMs. So instead of saying founder exit calculator, you might say, how much can I sell my software company for? Because then the LLMs will recommend your free tool when people search that. You see, it's question-based prompt marketing free tools. This is the future of marketing. Right? Boris is feeling it. He's like, yeah, I feel this. I got to get off my couch and write this down. Right, Boris? All right. So those are free tools. Guys, what you're trying to do with a free tool is this. You're trying to do the right column. It's just human psychology. You got to deliver a dopamine hit. That's what's happening here. You got to deliver a dopamine hit, right? We used to just enjoy playing sports. Now we gamble. We used to read newspapers. Now it's clickbait. We used to listen to music albums. Now it's TikToks. Stay on trend. Deliver the dopamine hit. Stick your free tool in the right column. All right. All right. let's talk about LinkedIn ads. Paragon used LinkedIn ads to 30x their ARR. Here is the revenue growth graph, right? So use paragon.com, cybersecurity, well, kind of cybersecurity, right? In that space, an iPaaS tool, right? And here's a resource I want to give you guys. A lot of people don't know you can go look up all your competitors' ads. You just go to linkedin.com/ad library, and guys type in, like, let's say, I don't know, who's one of your competitors? Let's say you compete with ZoomInfo. Here's all ZoomInfo's ads. It's a great way to get inspiration, right? So that's like step one. If you don't know what you're doing on LinkedIn ads, the best thing is study everyone else first, right? Using that link, right? That's the link. Next, here's Brandon. Look at his click-through rate. This is a very good click-through rate and cost per click on LinkedIn, guys. 1.37 CTR, 50 cents a click, super good on LinkedIn. But what he's doing in his ads is he's not talking about his product. He's generating, it's all customer testimonials with faces in them of folks using the platform. That's what's converting best for him, right? So this is what I would encourage you guys to test if you're thinking about LinkedIn ads. Study your competitors, focus on beating this CTR and this CPC, right? And try to make sure that your ads are featuring faces of your customers or videos of your customers using the product. So this is our summary of section 2. AI pricing, charge per workflow, outcome, or agent. Number 2, free tools are the future. Number 3, launch ad creative that would be impossible for all the auto ad generators to create. That's why I use customer testimonials, right? Those are the 3 big summaries from section 2 here. All right, guys, on that note, can I pick on someone random? Tina Sadeghi, can I pick on you? Tina, did you learn something there?
I did. I'm always learning. This is so helpful. Thank you for all the good.
I love that.
I'm just starting out. I'm just launching. I was part of a SaaS business before, and I'm starting my own thing. So this is great inspiration info. Thank you so much.
Guys, round of applause for Tina for jumping off the corporate ladder, betting on her freaking self. Tina's gonna crush it. Tina, I get 1%. Remember me in 10 years when you're rich. I get just a little bit, 1% from Nathan, okay? All right, we love that. Guys, real quick, hey, if you wanna meet Ben Murray and myself and anyone, save this link. Every digital and in-person event that we put on at FounderPath or that I'm attending, I put at this link. And maybe, look, my studio team's already on it, right? It's lu.me/meet SaaS. So you can see right now we're actually live on the thing today, right? But SaaS Open, the VIP event, is happening in Austin, May 12th. I rented out Soho House, and we will have about, let's see, how many people do we have coming? Yes. We've got May 12th. Sorry, what did I say? You guys are seeing my sales on this too. I shouldn't show you guys all my sales. Uh-oh. Look, it is what it is, right? But we've got 87 CEOs coming, right? We said $40,000 in ticket sales, which is great. But 87 CEOs coming. Again, we'd love to have you guys. If you come to Austin May 12th and come to the VIP event at Soho House, we'll also get you guys a ticket to SaaS Stock, right? SaaS Stock USA, which is the 13th and the 14th, right? So it's a great way to connect in person. All right, let's jump into section 3. We're talking about the future of artificial intelligence. We've got 8 minutes left, so I'm gonna go quick. The first thing I wanna point out is this. We are moving to a world where right now there's about 150,000 software companies in the world. In 2 years, there'll be 500,000, easily. Anybody can build software today. I just showed you in Lovable, right? The question is, who can sell? The question is, who can get distribution? Who can keep attention? That's the big question. Right? Look at these great solo founders that have broken 2 million of revenue. Right? John at $1 million of revenue. Right? Josh at 4 million. Dan Coe, 2.5 million. Danny, 3 million. Right? This is the future. Everyone's going to have a side software business, and it's going to be making money. And hopefully you end up like Tina. You quit the corporate gig, you own your outcome, you control your schedule, and you build wealth. Distribution is more important than product. So do not forget about that theme. Now here's my thinking, guys. Play with me here for a second. If we're going to a world where every one of you has a side project, a software company doing a couple $1 million of revenue, let's say then though you want to go buy a house or start a family or go on vacation. You go to a bank and they say, Jeff Hunt, congrats on hitting 2 million of revenue, right? But like we need a pay stub to give you a loan if you want to buy a house. How many of you guys have been frustrated with a bank that don't understand your software company? Raise your hand high. Michelle said yes. Raise it high, right? How have you been frustrated with this? It's like, bank, what do you mean a pay stub? I'm a founder. What do you mean a freaking pay stub? You want me to print off something for you? It doesn't work. So you have to understand there has to be a market somehow for liquidity at the early stage. We call this the art of the secondary, A secondary is when you sell your personal shares in a raise of capital, right? So instead of raising 4 million that sits on your company's balance sheet, let's say Tina hits 2 million of revenue, doesn't want to sell her business, but wants to sell maybe 5% of her shares for, $300,000 or $1 million to go buy a house or whatever, right? Well, there needs to be some way to do that. It doesn't exist right now, right? It doesn't exist right now. Do I have your permission to show you guys something we have not launched yet, but I think needs to exist? And it will be the largest private stock market in the world over the next 5 years. Can I show it to you? Can I show you the updated Figma mockup? Do I have your permission? We're gonna build this together, guys. I need your help, but this is what it looks like. This is inside of FounderPath. Some of you guys already have FounderPath accounts because we've deployed about 200 million to date. And the number one question I get is, Nathan, just value our common shares and let me click sell whenever I want. The purple button in the upper right. Right, so again, to be clear, this is you guys as a founder in your private dashboard on FounderPath. I'm basically doing a 409 evaluation on your company every morning instantly using our algorithm. Right? We're generating this because you've connected your Stripe, QuickBooks, and these things. And so when your MRR grows, your stock price goes up. If your top 2 customers cancel, your stock price goes down. If your CAC declines and you get customers cheaper, your stock goes up. The whole point here, though, is it's real time. I'm getting goosebumps again. Let's go. That's a good sign. It's real time, right? Nothing like this exists right now. But why doesn't it, right? We use Coinbase to trade crypto. We use Charles Schwab and Ameritrade to trade public equities. If we're entering a world where everyone's gonna have a software company and the banks ignore us, who's gonna create liquidity here? It's gonna be the Founder Stock Exchange, the FSE. All right, and so here's how it works. You click sell common shares. You tell me how many you want to sell. And we say, okay, we'll buy that many. We'll deposit 998,900 to your bank. Please connect your bank. Right, we'll connect. You tell us what of your personal, remember, you're selling your founder shares directly, so you can go buy a house, go on vacation, whatever. This is like, those of you that are big and you work for months to get a secondary done with Mainsail or growth equity firm, this is that, but instantly with no pitch deck and real time every morning, you could do this, right? Tell us where to deposit the money, success, and this is what shows up in your inbox. Can I get some instant reactions? Nina, can I pick on you? Nina Suri, what's going through your head?
Nathan, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Oh my God.
What's your top question, guys? Type your top question in the chat. Nina, what's your top question when you see this?
I've been kind of struggling with 4 discussions on acquisitions, which we turned down. But this sounds like mind-blowing. I'm blown away, Nathan. You need to come to Dubai and you need to come to Singapore. Bring FounderPath to Dubai and Singapore.
I would love to, Nina. I would love to. So you guys are saying, what's the valuation methodology? Again, those of you that don't already, some of you guys aren't on FounderPath already, right? But here, I'll go into my real FounderPath account right now for Get Latka, right? This is real. This isn't like a theory. This is live. And this is how we've deployed 200 million so far. We're approaching $250 million deployed to software founders already, but it's all debt. All we're doing is turning this valuation page into a real stock market for you, right? So you'll be able to go in and just click sell common shares whenever you want, right? Where I get frustrated is all the big growth equity firms like Mainsail, Vista, that do the big secondaries, they want everyone to be at like 10 million of revenue before they even consider a secondary. But if we're going to a world where everyone's gonna have a side project doing 3 million of revenue, someone has to create a market for that. That's what this is. That's what this is, all right? I'll pick on a couple other folks. John Hart, you wanna unmute yourself? What's your question?
I threw a bunch in there. How do you buy back? Who's a buyer? And it seems like there could be some SEC issues too. I love it though. Great concept.
So fuck the SEC. Just kidding. I love you. Don't sue me. Don't shut us down. This has to, look, somebody has to build this. Like, I almost don't care what happens. This will have to exist. If we're entering a world where everyone's gonna have a software company and the big growth equity firms don't wanna offer secondaries and banks won't help us, somebody has to build this. So I'm gonna build it, right? We're gonna build it. And the answer to your question is, I am the market maker. I have my own private equity fund. I am the buyer of the shares. So Nina, like in the past, when you go try and do a secondary, you have to go on a big road show and go try and find buyers. Screw all that. No pitch deck, no plane rides halfway around the world, no convincing growth equity firms that you're the shit. You just click sell common shares. I've already valued the business based off all these inputs. It's the same valuation methodology I've used for the past 4 years to deploy $200 million of debt to 500 software companies, right? So I'm putting my own value, like I'm standing behind this. We are the market maker to that degree. So John, does that answer your question? The answer is we're holding the shares.
Yes, and you're the buyer, the one buyer.
I'm the buyer. Specifically, I don't have the fund name yet, right? But they're a $100 million private equity fund. We are the buyers. We transact instantly. We're building this together, guys, by the way, so please keep putting stuff in the chat. I'm going to study all of this. What other questions? Someone unmute yourself. What other questions do you have?
Hey, Nathan, I have an interesting question.
Yep.
So my question is, if founders are inflating their numbers, specifically revenue growth, so easy in this era, and the valuation goes up, but the growth actually doesn't exist, how do we make sure that it's not happening?
Yeah, so leave that to me. Remember, it's my money that's doing the buying. And remember, I've already put out $200 million of debt where we have to look at valuations and revenue growth and all that stuff. That's how we put out debt, right? It's very hard to fraud the system when we require these kinds of connections. You'd have to go set up a whole fake Stripe account, a whole fake bank account, a whole fake GitHub account with historical commits to code. Like, we measure thousands of inputs that drive your stock price every day. Right, so if I get frauded, I get frauded, but I've got so much confidence in the system we've built. I'm not worried about that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right.
love that. I mean, this would be amazing. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. One of the things that, guys, I have to figure out, again, we're building this together. You're looking at a Figma design, right? So I'm negotiating this stuff one-on-one right now with a couple founders. My thinking is I'll work with, I'll say something like this. I'll say, hey guys, type I want to go public in the chat. Right, so if you have more than $1 million of revenue and you want to sell some founder shares, type I want to go public in the chat real quick. Right? Just type I want to go public. Okay, so what I'll do is say, Sanjay, just put I want to go public. Right? All right, Ben, see you, man. But what I'll do is I'll go, okay, Sanjay, let's get you set up and let's get you set up in FounderPath to write go public. Right? Now, it's not actually public because not everyone is going to be able to see the data you're seeing here. I'm really the only viewer. Right? I have my own Bloomberg terminal where I'm sort of trading this stuff real time. Sanjay, you go public. I give you a share price. And you say, okay, Nathan, yes or no, I like that price. If you say yes, then you sort of sell the shares. We're going to run this, though, just like the New York Stock Exchange, right? It's like if you want to sell shares, great. We still hold them. Maybe one day we let other investors buy on the other side. But right now, I don't want you guys to have to go run a process to sell at these price points. I want it to be instant. So I'm going to trust my own valuation algorithm and let you guys sell instantly so that I can deliver this freaking dopamine hit to your inbox, right? That's what we want to try and deliver.
Can I ask a question?
Right, yeah, go ahead.
So I love this, and as you said, somebody had to do it, and it's great that you're doing it. My question is that do you have enough back testing that if that company ends up raising the next funding round, how does the new funding round valuation compare to your own internal evaluation?
Yeah, I don't have the answer to that yet, right? But what I can tell you is there's nothing preventing you from going and raising from Andreessen if you want after you sell some secondaries here. There's nothing preventing that. Yeah, there's nothing preventing that. So guys, look, I'm going to study all your comments and questions. We are this is going to happen. We're going to build it. I think it will be the largest stock exchange in the world within the next 5 years. There are 30,000 software companies that are private in the US doing between $1 million and $10 million of revenue. Their combined revenues are about 30 billion. We already have on FounderPath, you guys can see my screen here. I'm going to log back into my account. I'm going to go down to integrations and Stripe. We probably shouldn't make this public, but you guys can see the actual install numbers. So we already have 3,800 founders that have connected their Stripe account. And I just summed up in my founder terminal this morning. It represents already about 3 billion of ARR going through the system. It's like we have a massive data set already to value all these shares instantly. And I would love to make a new software millionaire every day. So $365 million fund We take a new company public every day, right? And you guys decide, you ideally sell about $1 million worth of shares, and we'll see what happens. So here's what I'll tell you. We're gonna formally launch this publicly coming up next month on the webinar. So you wanna make sure to join that webinar. We will have a couple founders where we actually do the transaction live, and you will see it live. They've agreed to do it publicly. It's gonna be a blast. But we believe as the future of AI moves in the direction of more founders, more companies, the new rich is building that $3 million ARR company, doing a little 5%, selling 5% of your shares. That way, to Nina's point, you don't have to sell your baby to get liquidity, right? And you don't have to wait for a growth equity firm to come in and like save you, right? And beg them to do a secondary. We think this is the future. So look, raise your hand. Who's interested? Who wants to know more? Are we on to something? Should I spend significant resources on this or not? I think so. Maybe. Michael Powers, unmute yourself. Should we do it?
100%. 100%. I think there's a big gap. You know, companies are taking 10 plus, 12 plus years to go public. Like, there's just a huge gap the last 5 years on companies going public.
We'll beat the New York Stock Exchange, right? 4 years ago, there were 8,000 publicly listed companies. Today, there are 3,000. It costs $2 million in admin fees just to be public. Yeah. Why would you do that if it's free to go public on Founder Path?
Yeah, and I've done secondaries with companies, and you still have a long road ahead of you. And then I've done ICOs with crypto companies, and those are amazing because if those coins do well, you get liquidity as an investor very quickly within like 3 years. But I'm sitting on some angel investments that are going 12, 14 years long. It's just because there's nobody providing liquidity in the middle.
Yep, we want to do that. You guys are seeing it first, the Founder Stock Exchange, the FSC. Maybe take a screenshot, take a picture, take a selfie in front of your computer right now so you remember this moment. I mean, it really is. I think it's going to be special. The reason no one has done this before, you guys are already saying in the chat, like there are companies like NASDAQ Private Markets and CartaX and Forge, but you have to have $300 million of revenue and be pre-IPO to use those things. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to serve the 100,000 founders doing between $1 million and $10 million of revenue that want liquidity, which is a much bigger market, frankly. So that's what this is. So, all right, Jerry, thanks for the cool idea. I see all you guys commenting on LinkedIn. I appreciate your energy over there as well. But guys, again, you just learned over the last 66 minutes how to use the LLMs to get 10,000 clicks. We talked about ramping up your sales with updated pricing, free tools, and turning LinkedIn into your personal ads machine. And I just gave you a glimpse of what the future of AI could look like. I look forward to seeing so many of you guys in Austin, Texas on May 12th, coming up here shortly for SaaS Open and SaaS Talk. And thank you to all of the founders that have chosen Founder Path, my fund, as your capital partner. We're rapidly approaching $250 million deployed into about 500 companies, folks like Badger on a $4 million term loan, Contact Monkey $1 million, CyberSmart, DearDoc, the list goes on and on. But guys, hopefully you feel it. I get so much energy spending this time with you together every month. The next one will be at Luma/FP8. If you want to drop that in the chat, it's lu.ma/FP8 if you want to join in May. And guys, thank you so much for giving me your time today. 0 to 10 in the chat. Did we learn something? Can I unmute somebody else new maybe? Let's see, Richard McGissell, can I unmute you? Did you learn something today? Did we have fun? Richard's got to find that unmute button. Come on, Richard, you can do it. Come on, find that Zoom window, my man. Oh, Lydia Sugarman, let me pick on you. Did you learn something today? She's got the unmute button ready. Let's go. Lydia. Come on, you're letting me down.
I already
There we go.
told you, you're the total badass, Nathan. You do so much, and it's so much fun. I love this hour with you every month.
Well, we appreciate that, Lydia. It's so mutual. I love seeing you every day. And guys, again, I'm going to take all the worries you typed earlier in Zoom, and I'm building next month's webinar all around that. The preliminary topic right now, Lydia, tell me if you like this. I titled it Tiny Teams, Giant Revenue. And so I found a bunch of companies that are under 5 or 4 people doing more than 2 million of revenue, and they're going to break down all their growth tactics. Do we like that title?
Yes. That's my goal with my new startup. I don't know if it's considered SaaS or not. It's called Kithly. It's in the healthcare space, and we're filling a gap from discharge to getting home for people that have somebody.
I love that. I love that. Well, guys, again, my name is Nathan Latka at Founder Path. Thank you again. I'm going to the wide shot for joining me in my living room here on April 29th. Again, win the DJI Mini 3. All you have to do is comment on the LinkedIn recording, which is going up right now, or on YouTube, or on Twitter. Comment on any of them and just let me know leave one sentence, the biggest thing you learned today. One big takeaway. I'm picking a winner at 6 p.m. Eastern today to ship this DJI drone to. Again, here's the close-up shot of that, DJI Mini 3. We'll get that out, and again, I'll see all of you guys hopefully later on in May. Guys, Nathan Latka here. Thank you so much. Take care. See ya. See you from Austin. Later, guys. Bye.